The Riggins Effect. When an experience in your life causes monumental physical change. So I call the Riggins Effect after a good friend of mine that I knew in the Marine Corps named David Riggins. Now, when I knew him, I was a Lance Corporal. He was a corporal, and great guy, loved him. This one, Seinfeld, was very popular. He had like this Cosmo Kramer from Seinfeld kind of, attitude. We all loved, and I called him David. I didn't call him Corporal Riggins. I called him David. We were just he was just a fun, good guy, right? Well, all of a sudden one day, the Commandant of the Marine Corps comes in and does a speech. And I thought it was a good speech. And I would say, it was just a good, hoorah, Marine Corps Commandant, get you some speech. And, the next day, to me, it was just life again as a United States Marine. Well, Riggins comes in, and he's like, I'm like, what's up, David? He goes, it's Corporal Riggins. I was like, okay, sure, whatever. Giggle, giggle. He's like, no, it's Corporal Riggins. And I was like, okay. And then I started noticing different things. Right? He started becoming, it was just like this. He went from less Cosmo Kramer to more Commandant Kramer, to be honest with you. He was like this. Everything just seemed to just change about him. The way he did his business, the way he conducted himself, the way he carried himself, the seriousness in which he applied. I asked him, I was like, what is going on? And he told me, he's like, man, the speech that the Commandant of the Marine Corps gave, it moved me, it touched me. And it changed something inside of me. And to be honest with you, I was watching this, and I thought it took a while for people because, he was a great guy. He was funny, good guy. But every time somebody talked to him, they were like, hey, what's up? And he was like, no, it's Corporal Riggins. And he was very firm about it. And he went from, and I don't want the fun guy to a Marine. And, probably one of the biggest things when I reflected back on it a few years ago, when I was thinking about what I call the Riggins Effect, is when I started, I was teaching and training and coaching people. I was like, you need a Riggins Effect. Is because he went from, when he left the Marine Corps, he got out of the Marine Corps as a sergeant in the Marine Corps. Only thing people remember is Sergeant Riggins. Awesome Marine. 5-5 in pro-con march, right? Just the best. Top-notch Marine. And I remember just thinking, man, I remember that physical change in life. So there were times in my life when, and what brought to me was there was something massive happening. I had a sudden change, sudden growth. And I said, it's the Riggins Effect. And so I've coined that phrase. And so what I'm asking you is, what is your Riggins Effect? Have you had that yet? And if not, man, I hope you do. Because the Riggins Effect is when you have something causes monumental growth and change. It doesn't have to be a negative thing. Sometimes we allow something bad in our life to make us grow. Well, we don't need to wait for shock and awe to grow. We can grow from so many different things. So, what are the Riggins effects in your life? What will cause massive, monumental change and growth? We'll talk to you later.